This was a 3-speed crank set before with I believe 6 speeds on the back, and I converted this to a single speed. But a note about this is with these GT crank sets, they come with a spindle that's kind of pushed out for the different speeds. So if you go ahead and try to convert that to a single speed, you get another crank set for single speed, the chain line, it doesn't line up, and it's just too much drag. Even with something like this on there, you know, you want to have your chain line up properly, and this one's a little bit askew. So what you need is probably like an old school Sakae set here, because what that has is it's set back in here quite a way, so you can position it a lot closer to where it should be and line up the chain ring more with the back. Okay, so as you can see, this little spindle has this little flange on here that causes the crank to kind of stand off. And as you can see on this Maroka, there's a little extrusion here that pushes out even further. But if you get an old Sakae crank set, you'll see that that extrusion doesn't exist. It pulls out further. So when you put this on here, you'll get the chain ring a lot closer to line up to the actual chain once you tighten it on there. Okay, as you see, the back gear lines up with the front, and it's closer in there. So now all I got to do is replace the left side crank. And on these Sakae cranks, they're so sought after that you can only get like one side. And like on something like eBay. So what you got to make sure is you just measure them so they're the same size, but they're good to go. Okay, here's something I noticed, that yeah, the chain ring does line up, but with this actual crank ring or chain ring, it's really tight. It's got like a 1 millimeter clearance. I'll have to fix that by pulling this outside to here. Probably won't have to take the crank off. I can just take this out and reseat this chain ring to here. Yeah, because it's really tight up against the frame. Got like about 1 millimeter space, which is not good. Yeah, I had to actually take the crank off. You can't just flip this without taking the actual whole crank off. Okay, I put the chain ring on the outside. So now you got enough clearance there. It's about, what, 1/2 inch. Got some room for some sway. Okay, so it's not as straight as I'd like, but got enough space here for clearance with the frame.